Alright, Ashe Kench'em. Gotta Kench'em all. So, this, unsurprisingly, was the deck that people banned the most, the pick ban gauntlet we just finished. I think this deck's a lot of fun. Tahm Kench, I think, is one of, if not the sweetest build-around champion in Runeterra, and I really feel like this card is a phenomenal example of good game design, because unlike a card like, say, Trundle or, you know, other champions that just slot into anything, Tahm Kench requires very specific deck building requirements to do well. And the big Kench deck that we've seen is the Soraka Kench deck, where you heal him back up so he can acquire taste to capture lots of things after they strike him. This deck specifically is combining Tahm Kench with Ashe and other frostbite things, because if Kench only eats frozen meals, he doesn't take damage from that. Past just eating a bunch of frozen meals, we also have some things like Troll Chant, as well as Kindly Tavern Keeper, that can heal Kench back up in a pinch. But the core of what this build is looking to do is it's looking to make some frozen meals for Kench. The bottom end of our curve is things like Omen Hawk, Hired Gun, Make It Rain, Rhymefang Wolf to keep us alive in the aggro matchups. And then at the very top end of our curve, we've got Rhyme Tush Shaman, who serves up a frozen meal for Kench every single turn. And then we have Howling Abyss here, which is a way to generate some late game card advantage against other control decks. So let's see if we can successfully Kench them all in this next set. Did I play the same 3 decks as last time? I did not. I played Ashe Kench'em again. This was the only replay. And then I played Twisted Diana and Lux Leona. Ooh. Why don't you turn off? Stop beeping at me. Alright, there we go. Sorry. Apologies for those noise. I don't know. My RTX might have filtered that out. I have a baby monitor that was beeping, so I can see Haley when I'm working in my office. I didn't hear anything. God bless RTX voice. There was a very distinct boop, boop, boop. What are your thoughts on Make It Rain in this deck post-nerf? Well, I mean, the sarcastic short answer is, I think Make It Rain is awful in this deck. That's why I'm still playing 3 copies of it. The longer, more nuanced answer is that Make It Rain is very good in decks like this, because it helps you stop decks like the discard aggro that are going wide. So I actually like this change to Make It Rain, because it makes it more of a control card than anything. Perfect Troll Chant here. Make this not strike, eat your Fleet Feather Tracker. The big 55, Tom Tracy coming in hot for the 55th month. Thanks for keeping me around, I appreciate that. That's a great draw.
All the world on one arrow.
On one arrow. I actually hadn't thought about that Precipic, but that's kind of a reasonable suggestion, I think. Now, the real question here is, okay, so this feels like a riposte, right? Do I just end the turn and burn their mana? I don't think dealing 5's important. I think I'm the control deck here. I think I'm just ending the turn and burning their mana. This like screams riposte with the pass there.
The eye of twilight sees all.
I don't know, Quaddle. I didn't play that many games with it in that set. Yeah, definitely, Knacker. It's hard to know exactly for sure, because I didn't announce until I was halfway through. I didn't announce until I was halfway through October that I wasn't coming back to Magic. So we could still see some more drop-off, but... I think I just take 5 here, huh? Lets them draw a card.
A gift from the river folk.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
Show me a target.
Rhinefang Wolf does kill through barrier, because he's still striking it.
Time is right. Strike now.
It had to be.
Yeah, I think that's the line, Precipic.
Allow me.
Oh, you want to eat this? Nah, I don't think so. I think this isn't a big deal. No, I want to kill the dragon so the dragon can't kill my Ashe.
Oh, I don't require a menu.
I've got double make it rain here to punch through this eventually.
Defend these forests to the end.
Famous last words. Now, one thing that's great here is this Babbling Berg, the way our deck is constructed, guaranteed draws us Ashe, which means with Ashe in play, this draws Flash Freeze.
Things trapped in the ice.
Their pride will cost them.
It's good deck building, yep.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
We open on this, right? I think this is subtly one of the sweetest designs in Runeterra. Like, the card's good too, but just like from a design perspective, this card is very, very sweet.
What form will the waters take?
So, like, I have mixed feelings about this turn.
Waters are
Like, they get this back, but Rhinefang Wolf's just about to eat it, so, like...
Rosans, stand together.
Yeah, like, it feels like we're pretty far ahead. Like, on a pure card to value perspective, that exchange was okay for my opponent, but from a,
falls to me.
from a, what's it called? From a, board presence advantage, they're really far behind, right? So, like, they're up a ton of cards in hand right now, but they don't have the board presence they need to be in this game any longer. So, they're up in terms of card advantage, but they're behind in tempo by a lot.
So I go.
These are our lands.
Rhyme Wolf there really punching the work. In a lot of ways, and it sounds kind of funny to say, Kench in this deck is kind of like Rhymefang Wolf's 4 through 6. Like, Kench and Rhymefang Wolf serve a very similar role in what our deck is doing and looking to accomplish. They're both cards that I think Kench is a bait card in this deck. Yeah, I think that's accurate, Precipic. Yeah, they both take care of frozen food. Yep. So, I really like the KDE board, but from my personal taste, I'm gonna mulligan these two against the aggro deck. These two are very fine to keep. I'm actually not a huge fan of the art design on the KDA emotes.
They'll never see it coming.
They feel kind of out of place compared to the rest of the emoticons that we have.
I deal in coins and zarning.
So I'm not actually sure that I'm going to. I haven't actually bought the premium pass yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, if I'm being honest.
Your path ends here.
I bought the KDA board. The board was an easy pickup. I think the board's great.
I never.
No, J-Wall, if you think you want to cut Ashe from this deck, you haven't played it enough. Ashe is very, very good in this deck. Ashe is your closing power, and she's a big part of what keeps your Kenches and Rhymefang Wolves eating things.
Clear it out. Got some fight in ya.
What if we do this and then Troll Chant this for -2? I guess I could do this and keep this alive, like -2 plus. I kind of want to gain 2 with it, though. I think I like this. I don't have a ton of healing in my deck, so keeping my life total a little bit high feels good, I think. It's not a bad pickup.
Success gets noticed around here. Don't stand in my way. Son of a...
Maybe that trade was wrong because it triggered their Gangplank this turn.
Keep up, keep up.
I think it's definitely the case. My attack there was bad.
What will you have?
We hit the lower goal for Vikings, so we'll be doing a Thanksgiving cooking stream the week of Thanksgiving here. It might be greedy to not flash freeze there in advance, but if they block with this, I get to Harsh Winds and get them. Yeah, we've got a lot of frostbite and no closing power. Here's the problem. Playing Brothers Bond, vomit. That's a permanent +2 attack, right? Man, that's gross. I think we're done here. Need to draw Make It Rain next turn, basically. Because I have 2 flash freezes, so maybe we could be okay.
With luck, your bounty covers half a meal.
Appetizers of plenty. No, sir, friend.
Let's talk about Runeterra.
Our rant's down since you stopped doing magic. Yes, a significant amount. Turns out it's way more difficult to be angry when you don't play the game made by the company that makes a bunch of silly decisions. This card, champ. This card's the real tough one to beat. Super brutal. You can never stabilize on board against the pirate aggro deck. It just jumps up and kills you. I wonder if the fact that Make It Rain costs 3 now means I want to favor Tavern Keeper instead. That could be the case. It does, Hippity, but so much of the interaction in this game is based on attacking things in combat. Only a very narrow subset of decks can actually kill them in response. Brahm Soraka, okay. It's definitely not a Howling Abyss to start matchup. I think Ice Veil's probably good to start on because they probably have a bunch of the O3s. The rest of these cards seem pretty fine, actually. You click on the number next to the card name. Sniper. So clicking on the card name gets rid of a copy, clicking on the number adds a copy.
Anywhere.
Rudy, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I really don't understand the hate against Feel the Rush because I think Feel the Rush is much easier to interact with and beat than War Mother's Call. This is a piece of top end. Like, as far as someone who likes to play interactive decks, my interactive deck would much rather play against Feel the Rush than War Mother's Call. One of those things is much easier to beat than the others. Not even just cards like Passage Unburned press a pick. Like in the Pick Ban Gauntlet, for example, we just hushed one of their things and then ate it with the Challenger unit. Yeah, or like flash freezes and stuff like we have in this deck, exactly.
Shepherding, I mean.
Where there's a will, there's a meal.
Yeah, I completely agree with that as a spin. It basically just adds diversity to the top ends of those decks. I think Feel the Rush was a really good addition to the game.
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler.
Yeah, agree with Precipic. The things that makes those deck aren't the finishers, they're the control tools. The fact that they have finishers so the game doesn't take a decade to end is also a good thing. Like, as someone who spent way too much time waiting for their opponent to +1 their Teferi for the umpteenth time, like...
A chill in the air.
Now we have fun.
Let's go, Osu.
Stars fall. Live with purpose.
Crunch.
I mean, they were putting damage on their units so they can heal them, so that way Star Shepherd gets bigger. So their attack there makes sense. It's a good attack. Do you hate the Feel the Rush decks? I don't. I think they're fine. I think the Feel the Rush decks is a good example of combo that's pretty interactable. Combo decks are not an inherently bad thing for games like Runeterra. The inherently bad thing with something like Lee Sin is that it's difficult to interact with. I give subscribers mod status when they've subscribed for a year, foreign. It works, it's worked well for us so far here. Do I just play Howling Abyss here? I have 8 cards, so if I Howling Abyss, I don't burn a card next turn. I think I'm gonna Howling Abyss. What punish is this? No, it won't, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this puts me to 7, and then I draw 3 cards next turn. Kench, card for turn, Howling Abyss. Yeah, they don't know Precipic. They haven't lived how we've lived. Jareth! As much as I've enjoyed 12 months of content, here's hoping the next 12 go very differently. Here's hoping, Jareth. Thanks for the tier 2. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, and so, you know, Mark Rosewater's a very good game designer, right? And something that he's hit on is that players are very good at identifying problems, but they don't tend to be good at identifying solutions. So I think when players complain about things like Feel the Rush, what they're actually upset with is what Precipic identified is the control tools that allow those decks to survive to get to play Feel the Rush most of the time. So, like, if players had their way, for example, they would get rid of the bomb, and then there would just be left with this do-nothing control deck that would suck for a different reason. So, I think, like I said, in general, in my opinion, I think Feel the Rush is sweet and fine. Yeah, man, and well, and honestly, so I don't know that I necessarily blame people for that. So it's kind of one of the many toxic repercussions of capitalism where you often hear people say too, well, you shouldn't complain about something if you don't have a solution for it. And that's just like bullshit. It's patently incorrect, right? Like, it isn't, your job as a customer to create a solution for the multi-million or billion-dollar company when one of their products or things that they design sucks, right? Like, it's not your job to give them free labor and free ideas when you have a problem with the thing you want to give them money for. It isn't the customer's job to make the ideal product. It's the customer's job to buy and enjoy a product that they like.
You've no idea.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, like I've said a lot, I think I'm just passing here. I don't really want to make this vulnerable, and it doesn't really block super profitably anyways. I think, you know, the Runeterra team has really shown they understand these types of things, and I believe Ruben mentioned Trundle was on the list of things they're considering changes for, right? So, like, Trundle being on the list of changes is a good thing, I think. Because while I think the design of Trundle is sweet and good at its core, I think he's probably just a little bit too many stats.
True beauty is beneath the skin.
All right, so they've leveled their thing here. It's a little scary. I think we're just playing Ashe here. We're gonna try and hook this in here.
Show me a target.
To get me out of here!
You have to get me out of here. Yikes.
This'll take a kilo.
They're not killing my Ashe. Deal.
Success gets noticed around here.
Why did I block like that? asking the real questions.
As the arrow flies.
Oh, you know what? I probably want to hook Elise with this one because they showed us a Death Sand earlier. So I don't want to hook with this one and then have them Death Sand this and have Elise survive. This does mean they can trade this here, but I think I'm okay with that. Well, I was going to make it rain, but I think taking the pass and burning their mana here is ideal. Make it rain. Some things die while others feel the pain. Make it rain. Maybe actually doing that in response is probably wrong, right? Because if I wait for that to resolve, the Make It Rain could have killed all 3 spooky spiders.
Where is the Freljord's
Yeah, I messed that up.
Freljordian welcome.
Ice, ice, baby. Do 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 do. Nice ice, baby. Do 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 do. Celeris. Glad to be back. Been tuning a Shavon Tarek deck. I hope to share one day, but loving the Runeterra stuff. Keep it up. Thank you for the 25 months, Celeris. Really appreciate you dropping your prime this way again. Welcome back. That's unfortunate. We were one frostbite away from leveling her. Is it crazy to Tavern Keeper my Tavern Keeper? Yeah, that's bad, right? Because they have another block. They have one they can kill here. Do I just Tavern Keeper myself here and get in? Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to do.
Welcome to the Dipsy Hour.
There is no shelter.
Just want to try and end this game, basically. Had to refresh my prime for the prime glory. I appreciate it. Harrowing would be very bad for us. I don't think we can beat that one.
Ice runs in our veins.
Oh, they get to hook her. What's going on, Hippity? God bless us, everyone. Alright, we have a game here with their Ledros. Alright, hit me, dealer.
Time for a true display of skill. Watch and learn.
I think I just attack with this and then plan to Mystic Shot this and Flash Freeze this next turn, right? I don't think I want to attack these into Ledros. I guess if I attack these into Ledros, they spend their whole next turn playing him.
How about another round?
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that, actually. Because I think I'm okay trading into this because they don't have 9 mana this turn right now. 9, this is fine, press pick. Okay. Okay, point taken. Point taken.
Firing.
Ooh, that is not one. Harsh winds. Are we dead? I think we've died, chat. I think we died and press a pick was correct. Wait, I just go to 1 here, right? Do I go to 1? No, I don't want to get burned out.
I am here to help.
One shot, all skill.
Take heart.
Last card is never not atrocity, chat. This close. This close.
Their way is unclear.
Missed it by this much. That was a good game. I agree. I put up the attack with the innkeepers might have been suspect. I agree with that critique that perhaps we're supposed to hold the innkeepers back. Yeah, I agree, Pesterbeck. With the what's it called, we're just so far ahead. Yeah, mulliganing this, looking for a more aggressive curve. With the Abyss, we're just so far ahead that I shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been as aggressive as I was. There's no reason to. We did not, Cody. We got Atrocity after I took a bad line. Took a bad line and left the door open to get Atrocity. We have way more than enough Frostbite in our deck, Claire, to find more by the time they field rush. I want to mulligan everything I had there to start so I can have an aggressive start to pressure them out of the game, ideally.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
I'm playing this out naked for my pressure to start as opposed to this because they're a Vile Feast deck, so I don't really want my first threat to die to that, ideally. This matchup can be challenging for us, although I do think that the Feel the Rush build of the opponent's archetype is easier for us to beat than War Mother's Call, because we can interact with a couple of units. It's the endless flow of units from War Mothers we have a hard time with. Just gonna pass here, because if they want to play their 0-4 ramp, then I get to play Wolf and eat it. And if they just want to pass, I get to burn their mana. Just like we drew it up, chat. And these little things about knowing what my opponent's deck is doing and then using the priority system to give myself an edge here is huge. Runeterra is easily the most rewarding card game I've ever played in terms of player skill because of the priority system. There's so many little spots like this where you can give yourself an edge if you understand how your matchup plays out and how the priority system works. Correct, Boss Smiley. The spell mana system adds a ton of nuance to the pass back and forth, is exactly correct. I wanted to play more pressure out anyways, so getting to heal back up my Wolf here sounds great.
Success gets noticed around.
Please play a Trundle. Icequake gets us here, but that card's not super commonly played. It's usually just their Trundle spell. Unlike Magic, where you gain an edge by having 6 lands in play on turn 3. Accurate. Big mood. You don't like Atrocity press a pick? I think Atrocity's mostly fine. I don't really find that card offensive. I think the only thing in Runeterra's current format I wouldn't mind seeing dialed back a touch is what's the word I'm searching for? Is the my mouth is just mush. Is the reach in the Noxious deck. I think I save Rhyme Thing here.
Son of a... All the world on one arrow.
I think we're just opening attacks here. That's a decent pickup. This is easily our best card in this matchup. They have a lot of ways to kill this wolf. Vengeance on a Rhyme Fang wolf, chat. That, we call that a W in my book. Good morning, Hippity. I see you.
I'm gonna make a U-sickle. You're in my kingdom now.
So, this play means that they have to have 2 8+ cost things in their hand to kill Ashe.
Be a worthy opponent.
You could have fought by my side.
Still running Make It Rain, question mark? That is such a Twitch chat question. That is such a Twitch chat question. Oh. Yeah, do I Hecarim take their swing? That's probably the line, right? So we can kill them next turn. Hecarim makes a bunch of friendos.
My blade calls.
I actually think Make It Rain is super good right now.
I'll knock 'em dead.
I think it's a pretty necessary tool for keeping up with the discard aggro decks.
Ready for a beatdown.
Wow, that just went to +4. Good lord.
So cold.
I think I want a Babbling Berg here. Brittle Steel checks life, zigzags.
These biggest tombstones.
And see what they do. Not necessarily press a pick, because even without Ruination, like, what's the word that I'm searching for? They could kill me next turn, right? Like, there's a chance that they kill us next turn. I don't think we can kill them this turn is the problem. I think that's pretty unlikely. Trundle's a thick boy. Ashe is 3 off of flipping still, so I can't level her. If we could level her, it'd be easy peasy. We'd like brittle steal something, they only have 1 blocker, we'd kill them. Yeah, I think I need to Rhyme Tusk to not die next turn. Is about where I'm at. If I play this, they go block, block, block. Yeah, I think we just do this. I think that's the play. Yeah, I think it's hook the pillar with these, and then Rhyme Tusk to make something smaller this turn. Got me. Giga Ninja, Jinja Ninja, thank you for the 29 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler.
You need to make it rain now so we can brittle steel trend. Oh, that's a good idea. You're so smart and thin, Twitch chat. So this will ice this, and then brittle steel can tag this. Told you we were Dr. Lawyer astronauts. I apologize for ever doubting you, Twitch chat. Ooh. Yeah, passage unearned really needed to be a modal card. I don't think I kill this, right? I just let this stay as it is? Or do I kill it to play around Ruination? This could go either way. Killing it plays around Ruination.
You'll make a fine totem.
Not just flesh, rage incarnate!
Well, so blocking there was actually worse against that spell, right? Because now I don't have an extra frostbite to open on decent attacks with Ashe. Although I guess Nocturne kind of does that. So we're gonna die to Atrocity again, he said. But other than Atrocity, we're doing okay. Did the block save me? No, the block saved me 3 life. I would have gone to 1. Oh, Ashe can level herself, you're right.
Didn't expect this.
Fate can be cruel.
That's true. They did play Unspeakable. You want a Jinx for the extra card? That's a thought. I mean, if we open, what do we lose to? She's gonna level. This'll make 2 friends. They block here. They block here. We die. Order Hecarim last. Well, I mean, Hecarim's minions always summon after himself. Yeah, we lose to Atrocity. Do we lose to, like, Grasp, though? If they go, like, block, and then, like, Grasp one of the riders, they go to 10? So, yeah, we don't beat Grasp either. I think I need to play another unit out here, is what I'm counting. Yeah, I think we play Shen. Ha. Oh! If we play 2 dogs, this can't block because we'll be fearsome. And then they'll have another can't block too? Because, what's it called? This triggering Nocturne? Yeah, we can overwrite the landmark with other dog. What a crazy game. Howling Abyss is a sweet piece of top end.
As it should be.
Yeah, like I mentioned when we dropped Howling Abyss there, easily one of our best cards in that matchup. Being able to draw two cards, then being good every turn is great. Yeah, I like this configuration a lot, Beansy. This is me updating the list that's on my website and trying new things in it. So, I'm going to update the list on my site to match what this is when we finish today. Gosh, Twitch chat really is something. Here's a lukewarm take for you, Twitch chat. I get that your memory span is that of a goldfish and you can't remember past the last 3 games of Runeterra you just watched on a stream or played in person, but there's lots of different decks that are competitive right now. So the fact that I've queued into Trundle Tryndamere twice in a row doesn't mean the format is all Trundle Tryndamere, any more than when you queue into Pirate aggro twice in a row doesn't mean it's all Pirate aggro. Your anecdotal evidence is not represent. Yeah, we literally haven't even played against the most represented deck in the format yet today, which is discard aggro. Because again, the number of games that I'm playing on stream or you're playing in a 3-hour sitting is such a tiny sample. Your tiny sample that you're looking at does not extrapolate to the game as a whole. That's just not how data works. Hey, good games, Papa. Good luck in the rest of your laddering today. Jeff supports big data. I do support big data. taking this hit and just dropping Kench here. I think we just take 4, and then we're gonna start, like, flash freezing these and eating them. Or I can, like, brittle steel and eat one of them. No play. Deal.
Where there's a will, there's a meal.
Ooh. Alright, I think with that draw, I'm gonna do this and give them a card draw off this one. I can play Babbling Berg to pick up an Ashe this turn too if we need to, if we want to.
These are troll lands.
Do I flash freeze this and eat Trundle now? I think we're eating Trundle, right?
My comestibles are getting cold.
I'm just gonna eat this for now. They might attack with Trundle next turn, and then we can flash freeze Wolfit inside of combat. Yeah, we can always eat Trundle later. Let's just get this entry out of the way. Well, that's just rude.
Light the signal fires.
Because Vengeance and Removal blow us out. Vengeance gets us regardless, Precipic. I'm not a Bastion deck. I don't have counterplay against Vengeance on my Kench.
Menu.
Vengeance gets us regardless. Yeah, but like if they attack and I flash freeze and block with Rhyme Fang and they Vengeance by Rhyme Fang, I then get to Kench the Trundle. So like that seems fine.
This'll take the chill off.
They're debating on if they want to pass again. And I'm genuinely not sure if they pass, if I'm supposed to end the round. There's a good chance I am.
They've got nowhere to go.
Actually, what I probably should have done is, instead of playing this, I probably should have played Babbling Berg this turn and picked my Ashe up. Just a little bit more resource efficient. And the 3 life didn't really matter here, though the same stat line. Yeah. Am I supposed to acquired taste this Spiderling? I think I am. And then if they attack with Trundle, we have Flash Freeze plus Wolf Block. This is one of our matchups where Kench isn't that good. Yes, Berg getting Bayou Brunched is also very reasonable. Because he is a summons trigger, not a play trigger.
Plenty of room inside.
No, Berg's a summon trigger. This is a play trigger. We're talking about Berg with So Ashe is an okay draw. Now the question is, do I want to expose myself to Icequake?
I will unite the Freljord.
Ruination. That's actually pretty okay for us. It's like not super exciting, but They get their scooter back.
Who's on top of the bounty board today? Time to make some coin.
I haven't done any flash freezes yet, right? Any frostbites? Not in a great spot here. Really hoping to find a Howling Abyss in the next turn or two to get that card advantage going.
It was right on my tail.
It was right on my tail. How do you feel about eating a pile of rocks, Mr. Kench?
I've been propagating quite the appetite.
Propagating quite the appetite. Read. I'm actually pretty okay with that, though. Kench is not an amazing card in this matchup for us. I think I'd much rather have Ashe and Rhymefang here.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
I don't think we're going to be in a position to beat another sweeper, unfortunately. But it is what it is. They have a Howling Abyss. Gross. Man, are they playing this in addition to other top end? Seems real greedy. Yeah, they have fewer units and they have more ways to kill Kench. So like they have things like Vengeance that just kill him outright, and I don't have things like Bastion to protect it. Yeah, Ashe plus Wolf might get us through the Abyss here. And it really depends on if they have another sweeper. Honestly, like someone had mentioned earlier, Abyss isn't really going to be the card that kills us here. It's all their control cards around it are the things I just can't beat at the moment. Wow, they are playing Abyss and Field Rush.
Show me a worthy opponent.
You could have fought by my side.
Our diet is expensively unique.
Expensively unique.
Follow my blade! Smashing!
The time is right. Strike now.
Warm hearts and hot soup. No time for soup. We've got to move.
Harsh Winds is easily the best draw on the deck.
Where there's a will, there's a meal.
Okay, so
Do enjoy prospecting.
I can also just do this.
My comestibles are getting cold. You'll need more than that.
I remember they just have so many cards in their hand here too, right? They're getting a level 2 champion every turn, so like, we're kind of close here, but the fact that we never found an Abyss is rough. This is definitely a matchup our deck wishes it had a sideboard for. We've got a number of cards that are kind of clunky game 1. Things like Troll Chant aren't very good here. We can Brittle plus eat Trend after. That's a good idea.
They've got nowhere to go. Let rage fill your soul!
I did hit my goal, Bone Zone. I appreciate you checking in, though.
So cold.
And this is permanently larger, right? Well, that was the Trendemir spell, for reference. Whatever it's called, it was
That'll be a small cell. I'm sure there's something for my tastes.
All right, are you opening on attacks or not? You're not.
A true Freljordian welcome.
Hey, Old Man Suede, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I don't have anything clever to say for 26 months. So just keep doing what you're doing because it's great. Thank you for the very generous tier 3 not protagonist. Welcome back. Yeah, I think we have to keep the wolf here. And this is the pillar that's got Battle Fury on it, so let's eat that.
Plenty of room inside.
And again, just like we're close on life total here, but they have what, 8 cards in hand right now, a bunch of which are level 2 champions, so like we don't really have a game.
What do you have?
Success gets noticed around here.
That's true. They've not played any level 2 champions yet.
Let's take this outside.
Who's gonna close up?
King of Trolls coming through.
Ashe could definitely steal the game. Excuse me. Ashe could definitely steal the game.
Appetizers aplenty. It's too late now. Call me king! Call me demon! Trolllands now! Hail to the king!
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call this one a game, I think. Just not catch it back up. Needed to hit our abyss much sooner. either have to have a more aggressive start than we did or hit our Abyss closer to on curve. Oh no, chat! It's a third ramp control deck in a row. That means it's the only deck in the game, right? Howling Abyss in the opener sounds great. Get a mulligan Tavern Keeper. I guess you couldn't Kench back up. Accurate. I think Trundle can be better than Ashe in this deck. Instead of me telling you you're wrong, tell me why you're right. What problem does my deck have that you solve by replacing Ashe with Trundle, and why is that a good change? Why do you think you avoid creating other problems by making that change? If they pass, I'm gonna end the turn. So I don't want them to be able to play a ramp card for free. We are the beatdown here, but I think burning their mana and preventing a ramp spell from happening this turn is more valuable. I think I want to start getting Frostbites going here. Ashe is also pretty aggressive. That was something like the one example I always go back to in Kiki Chord was it would, for people that remember the Kiki Chord days. There's probably not a ton in chat anymore, but people would always be like, Jeff, how does this deck win the burn matchup? And without missing a beat, I'd always get to respond, you cut Courser of Crew Fixed, right? And they'd be like, well, yeah, Courser didn't seem very good, so I cut it. And it was like, well, that's how you beat the burn matchup. You shouldn't cut cards from the deck and then wonder how you win things. The instinct of players to pick up a deck they've never played before and then immediately start making a bunch of changes to it is so strange to me. Like, the person that put that deck together probably had reasons for the cards that they put in it. And if you're still at the point where you have to ask yourself, how do you beat these cards, you probably shouldn't be making changes to the deck until you understand how you beat things. Yeah, Beansy. Basically, most AAA games are going to be things I'm okay giving a try. Nice, Finn. For people that are new to the channel, maybe stumbling in from the Runeterra section, in a previous lifetime, I played a lot of competitive Magic the Gathering. Could call me something of a professional. I have traveled to a tournament after sleeping up a big game hunter in a Naya deck. And this is Jeff's fault, AMA.
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
I know for a fact that you take off the decks off the internet and cut a spell and add a land before you play them. That's the nicest part about Runeterra submissions. I don't have to fix people's shitty mana bases anymore. Like, forget all the other things about Magic's mana system aside, not having to look at deck lists people send me and going, where did this mana base come from? What were you smoking? Is like such a huge quality of life improvement. People have really bad mana base heuristics. Man, are we just killing a bunch of my stuff inside of combat? This is so good for me. Alright, we're gonna troll chant to save this wolf, I think. And then we're gonna still play Howling Abyss.
Sends chills up my spine.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
Had to edit an 18-follower stalking Shadow. That's true. That is definitely one that you will see happen. And again, gonna get to see that synergy with Babbling Berg and Ashe here. So I don't currently have a way to frostbite these things, but I have Ashe in place, so this is guaranteed to draw Flash Freeze.
Smashing!
I'm jumping this so I don't die to Atrocity, right?
Doors.
Oh wait, I don't die to Atrocity because of Rhyme Tusk, right? I just let this bump, and then I get to open attacks, right?
Getting cold.
Kench eating the spider is free, that's true.
It's too late now.
The frost.
Ashe is gonna level when she attacks here.
I'm sure there's...
You can frostbite the same thing again, chat.
Amarosans, stand together. My
She just normally doesn't re-frostbite the same thing, but if it's the only thing left, she will. And then even if they don't die in combat here, we get to acquired taste this Tryndamere. Nice. Nice. So it's a little bit early. Normally I go till about a quarter to, but I really like to end on a high note. To play Devil's Advocate on Trundle replacing Ashe, Trundle serves as a chump blocker with regen. So J-Wall, I want to highlight what J-Wall did here, and not to call out them specifically. Okay, I'm a liar. To call out them specifically and other people that do this, but they're far from the only person to do this. When I ask the question, what problem does Trundle solve for my deck? This doesn't do that. This Trundle serves as a blocker with regen. Yes, that is the card text on Trundle. He blocks and has good stat line and has regen. But what he doesn't, like, that's not listing an issue that my deck has and then describing how Trundle solves that problem. When I ask how does this card solve a problem, I'm asking you to think about, okay, how do our matchups play out, and what's an issue that I'm going to hit consistently in a specific matchup? So it's not just this is what the card does, because I can read the card. I'm asking what am I bumping up in my deck against that feels tough, that I would like to, that this card could change or move the needle on meaningfully. Also, again, like, the people wanting to replace Ashe, like, go back and watch that set we just did, and we played this deck a ton before. Babbling Berg is an insane piece of card advantage, and it just doesn't work with Trundle. And like, this card alone with Ashe is a big reason to play it. And that's even before you get into the fact all the synergies Ashe has in this deck with Rhinefang and Kench and like everything else that we have going on. I think this deck is issue with small creatures so we could play Parlay to kill 1-drop. Sure. I don't actually know that we have that many issues with small creatures, so like, I kind of think of Omen Hawk as a parlay style card. Sure, that's a good example. Sure, I understand what you're doing now. So I think this could have issue with small creatures, and this card could solve that problem. That is a good example. Now, things I would change. Honestly, I don't know that I'd really change anything. I feel like the one thing I want to call out in this deck is that I think playing some number of Make It Rain is still worthwhile. I think it's probably not a 3 of anymore at 3 mana, but this card's incredibly good against the discard-based aggro deck that's looking to go wide, so I think playing a few copies of them is great. This was actually the first time I'd played Tavern Keeper in this shell, and he was really stellar. Not only does he buffer our life total in the aggro matchups, but having another tool that lets us heal Kench back up was also great. No, I think I like the 3 Tavern Keepers. I think he's not only good against aggro, but he's also good in the mid-range matchups. I don't think we really need Avalanche. We're a deck that beats aggressive decks by playing to the board. So Omen Hawk, Hired Guns, Tavern Keepers, Rhinefang Wolves, we want to beat aggro by having a board of our own. Now, the one place this archetype really struggles is I actually think that matchup against the Trundle Tryndamere deck is tough. I would bet we're probably not a favorite to win that matchup. That being said, while I could make changes to this deck, such as playing more Howling Abyss to make that matchup better, I think the things we would have to do to change this deck to make it meaningfully better against that control deck changes the aggressive matchups too much, which I think are currently very good. And I think, as is the case with a variety, in formats with a variety of decks, I think that having a bad matchup against that is fine. I also think, and this is important to note, I think this deck's matchup against Trundle Tryndamere got better when they started playing Feel the Rush as opposed to War Mother's Call. If you didn't get a chance to see us play through Feel the Rush multiple times in that set, you're going to want to go back and check it out. The fact that we can just grind through their 2 things that they get and not have them get an endless flow of threats is really, really good for us. So yeah, I think that matchup's still hard, but I think I like this deck as is. It's got good it's not unwinnable there. You have some play, as we showed in that last match, and I think it got a little bit better for us with Feel the Rush being the card they're playing now. At any rate, that's going to be it for me for today. If you're new to the channel, please give it a follow if you enjoyed the content. I'm here doing Runeterra stuff 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Every single morning, I try and do 2 different constructed decks. I also have a YouTube channel where I cut up highlights as well as full stream segments for every single deck that I play. So there's a ton of constructed content there. If you have a deck that you'd like to see played on stream at some point in the future, a lot of the decks that we play here are viewer submissions. Would love to play your sweet Runeterra deck on stream at some point in exchange for a small donation. And I will be back tonight. Normally I take Monday nights off, but every evening I am here doing variety stuff. We are going to be doing a short sponsored segment for a puzzle game on the Switch called Brightpaw, as well as playing a viewer variety submission Super Meat Boy. So I'll be back approximately 7 hours from now with some variety stuff, and I'll be back with more card games tomorrow morning. Thanks to everybody, by the way, that help us hit the donation goal, or the Vikings goal. So I got my bonus for that. I appreciate it. It is $25 for a subscriber to submit a deck. It is $35 for a non-sub to submit a deck, which means it's cheaper to sub and submit a deck, but who am I to tell you how to spend your money? So you make decisions that are good for you and work for you. Yeah! Election day's tomorrow in the United States. If you haven't voted early, make a plan to vote tomorrow safely. Wear a mask, bring snacks, make sure your phone's charged in case there's a line. Peace, folks.